you know how good that is? That is so...
I just thought it was silly. I still laugh when I see that master part. It'll never get old, the fact that that actually happened.
This is such a I'm sorry to say this, such a complex set of attitudes towards media. I can't even begin to pull them apart. I know it's hilarious, but what is it that you're making fun of?
I don't really know.
You've done a hell of a job with it, though. So.
No, I mean, it's a good way to, actually when we started, the first one that broke big was a hip-hop beat. So it's really convenient because it was almost like it was a hip-hop and news parody at the same time, because Autotune is so hot in hip-hop. But we were also just kind of poking fun and having fun with the news media.
So not heavily laden with theory, then, I'm gathering.
Theory, define theory.
Media theory, yeah. Right. Stuff that doesn't matter. That's what I think. What was the origin of this? Where'd you get the idea for, not for this particular one, for...
A long time ago, well, once upon a time. I'm an audio engineer, so I was in the studio one night putting Autotune on a real record with an intentional singer, someone who was trying to sing on purpose. And that sounds like an insult, but he was actually a great singer. And when I tell people that I used to Autotune singers live a lot, because I focused a lot on vocal production, and they say, oh man, you must have worked with some terrible singers. They must have been awful. You had to Autotune them all the time. And I say, not really. I mean, the music industry is like a nuclear arms race with Autotune. Once somebody started using it in the late 90s, and not just Cher, even boy bands, every genre really. When somebody started using it, everybody had to use it to get up to that level of superhuman quality in the voice. So I was Autotuning late at night, and I went for like 4 hours straight binge Autotuning. And when I got done, because I was on a deadline, I had to finish that night. So I started walking back to my dorm room, and suddenly I realized that through hearing everything through this perfectly tuned filter, I gained a new superpower, which is the superpower to hear other things through that filter. Because I got back to my dorm room and my roommate was like, hey, why are you out so late? But he sounded like, hey, Shawty. I was like, whoa. Why are you singing? I know you're a theater major and you like to do musical theater, but you don't get to sing all the time. And you said, I'm not singing. So I realized that I was just still hearing through that filter. And that's when it hit me. You can use this technology that's been used for so long in the music industry and turn it to accidental singers. So then fast forward to the presidential campaign in 2008. And I did a comedy video, got dozens of views, really excited about that. Wanted to do a follow-up, but I didn't want it to be like one-sided, just a music video with me singing, so I thought I have to get them to interact with me. That's when I thought back to that and thought I could get them to sing back and forth, and then I could come in and rhyme with them. And so Autotune the News was just an extension of that, deciding to serialize it.
So there was never a case where like Autotune the News leaped, fully formed out of anyone's head, but like you can go back to Michael's early videos and trace the evolution of this idea, like something that looks more like a traditional music video, and then a couple of videos later you begin to see the concept of unintentional singing, like, oh, we could be doing duets with these people that were appearing in videos, and so step by step we kind of got to the idea that is now Autotune the News.
So I think there's an obvious, maybe an obvious answer to this. When you're auto-tuning those folks, how do you think you're making them sound? When you're auto-tuning the singers, you're making them sound better in some sense, right? That's when you're tweaking. When you're auto-tuning politicians and celebrity media interviews, how do you think you're making them sound?
Like superstars. That's what we're going for. We can't always do that. Some of them are just natural accidental singers. Some you kind of have to meet halfway. That happens in the music industry too.
So you spend a fair bit of time watching the streams of the broadcast to find people who you think would do well auto-tuned, or?
We'll spend about 2 weeks. We'll just kind of block out our calendars for about like a 14-day period and watch C-SPAN. We're about in 8-hour shifts, just rotating. And as soon as you see something good, we just hit record on the old VHS player. And go from there.
Have you hit any takedown notice, DMCA copyright stuff?
We ignore those.
Everybody's been a great sport about it, and I think they love to sing themselves in that way. They say, when I quit this business, I want to make a record, and now I have this credibility. They actually like it, and they've all been great sports.
We're effectively producing demos for all these people. Secret desires for years to be on record labels. So there's a bit of a symbiosis there. They're helping us, but they get something from it too.
So this is for anybody. Do you think that you are having, do you want to have, do you not want to have actual political effect on how people think about politics?
Good God, no. No.
Okay.
We have actually we have actually heard from people that we are corrupting the English language by confusing the matter, which is why I wanted to put fake in the title. But we have heard that we're part of the internet assault on the English language. As far as politics go, good God, no. I don't think any politicians read us, and I sure hope they don't.
I enjoyed a lot when people try to peg us as like